Some people think that this ayah is a clear proof that earth is flat. And then there are those who think that this ayah proves that earth is actually a sphere. So these two interpretations cannot exist at the same time. So what is really going on here? Well, this is indeed the most important piece of evidence for those who believe that the Quran said that earth is flat. But does it really prove that? Well, if you are among those who interpret the Quran without knowledge and just follow whatever meaning they think they see, then yes. But if you have the knowledge or have reviewed the proper understanding of this ayah and what the scholars had said, then you will see that this ayah does not actually prove anything. But how? I mean, look at the translation. It is clearly stating that it is spread out. Even the word sutihat in Arabic shares the same root as musattah, flat or flattened. What is there that requires any interpretation? Well, simply because the word al-ard here is interpreted as the surface of the earth and not as the planet earth. And so the meaning of the ayah is that the surface of the earth is indeed flattened for us to be able to make roads, build houses, and basically live our lives. But then, why should I agree with the meaning that it is land or surface rather than planet? And such questions are answered by the scholars of tafsir. Like for example, what we read in the tafsir of Ibn Ashur, who states that the word al-ard has two meanings in the Quran, a general and a specific meaning. The general meaning concerns earth as a whole, a planet created by Allah. And the other, more specific meaning concerns the observable earth or land on which you are standing. In other words, the surface of the earth. But then, how do we know which is used specifically in this ayah? Well, we can just simply look at the context. By going back a couple of ayat, you'll notice that Allah starts mentioning His creation through the rhetorical question, أَفَلَا يَنظُرُونَ? Do they not look? So the ayah is appealing to the sense of sight and what can be observed with our own eyes. And then Allah gives us things that He wants us to look at, things we can see with our eyes, camels, the sky, mountains, and then planet Earth? Well, of course not. That won't make sense because it does not refer to the planet, but rather to the specific part that people can indeed observe from the earth, which is its surface, the land, or as far as you can look, making the surface flat enough for us to be able to build, walk, move, and go about our lives. And so it is most definitely does not refer to the general meaning as the planet Earth, because that would be completely out of context and not in line with the other things that Allah had mentioned in context. Now, if we compare this to the other ayah in question, we can directly see that the ayah starts by establishing the general meaning. خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ بِالْحَقِّ. So Allah is talking about His creation as a whole, not the specific meaning. And then we see an expression used in this context, يُكَوِّرْ, which originally comes from the word kura, meaning ball. So while wraps around is not the exact same meaning as the Arabic one, it still delivers a close meaning. And as the scholars of tafsir explained this word, they said the word takwir means wrapping in the sense of wrapping something like a turban. And since day and night are what is being wrapped, it necessarily means that earth is round or spherical, since yukawwir is not just wrapping, but also wrapping in a ball-like shape. There is even an interesting piece of evidence found in the Arabic language itself, which is that Arabs refer to celestial bodies using the word al-aflak, which is the plural of falak. Astronomy in Arabic is even called ilmul falak. Now, the word falak means an orbit, but it also means a sphere, and Arabs use it in many different contexts when referring to something that is round. And this information is actually nothing new. It is what Muslim scholars have always known. For example, the Ma'mun map, dating back to the 2nd century, which is a map that was made by a group of Muslim scholars at the request of Al-Khalifa Al-Ma'mun in the 2nd century. It shows without a doubt that the earlier Muslim scholars, as early as the 2nd century, knew that the earth was a sphere. Not only that, another Muslim scholar, Al-Bayruni, in the 4th century, was able to accurately calculate the diameter of the entire globe mathematically. In fact, there is ijma', or a unanimous agreement among the scholars of Islam that earth is a sphere. This includes Ibn Hazm and Ibn Taymiyyah as examples, and there are many other scholars of the same opinion. Finally, if you're still not fully on board, what happens now? Well, absolutely nothing. This is the kind of knowledge that you are not going to be asked about. Most importantly, it should not be a point of difference among Muslims. It doesn't affect our prayer, worship, or anything of that sort. It was only important to point out that interpreting the Quran without knowledge will lead to misunderstanding and in some cases, misguidance.